The son is once more open and logical. He's opening his father's autobiography again. Now the father has another opportunity to influence and transform. There are times when transformation requires no outside counsel. Often, when people are really given the chance to open up, they unravel their own problems and the solutions becomes clear to the in the progress. At other times they really need additional perspective and help. The key is to genuinely seek the welfare of the individual, to listen with empathy, to let the person get to the problem and the solution at his own pace and time. Lawyer upon lawyer. It's like peeling an onion until you get to the soft inner core. When people are really hurting and really listen with a pure desire to understand, you'll be amazed how fast they will open up. They want to open up. Children desperately want to open up even more to their parent than to their peers, and they will if they feel their parents will love them unconditionally and will be faithful to them afterwards and not judge or ridicule them. If you really seek to understand without hypocrisy and without guile, there will be times when you will be literally stunned with the pure knowledge and understanding that will flow to you from another human being. It isn't even always necessary to talk in the order to empathize. In fact, sometimes words may just get in your way. That's one very important reason why technique alone will not work. That kind of understanding transcends technique. Isolated technique only gets in the way. I have gone through the skills of emphatic listening because skills is an important part of any habit. We need to have the skills, but let me reiterate that the skills will not be effective unless they come from a sincere desire to understand. People resent any attempt to manipulate them. In fact, if you're dealing with people you're close to, it's helpful to tell them what you're doing. I read this book about listening and empathy, and I thought about my relationship with you. I realized I haven't listened to you like I should, but I want to. It's hard for me. I may blow it at times, but I'm going to work at it. I really care about you and I want to understand. I hope you'll help me. Affirming your motive is a huge deposit, but if you're not sincere, I wouldn't even try it. It may create an opponent and a vulnerability that will later turn to your harm when a person discovers that you really didn't care you really didn't want to listen and he's left open, exposed and hurt. The technique, the tip of the iceberg has to come out of the massive base of character underneath. Now there are people who protest that empathic listening takes too much time. It may take a little more time initially, but it saves so much time downstream. The most efficient thing you can do if you're a doctor and want to prescribe a wise treatment is to make an accurate diagnosis. You can say I am in too much of hurry. I don't have time to make a diagnosis, just take this treatment. I remember writing on time in a room on the north shore of Oahu, Hawaii. There was a soft breeze blowing in, so I had opened two windows, one at the front and one at the side to keep the room cool. I had a number of papers laid out, chapter by chapter, on a large table. Suddenly, the breeze started picking up and blowing my papers about. I remember the frantic sense of loss I felt because things were no longer in order, including unnumbered pages, and I began rushing around the room trying desperately to put them back. Finally, I realized it would be better to take 10 seconds and close one of the windows. Emphatic listening takes time, but it doesn't take any here near as much time as it takes to back up and correct misunderstandings when you're already miles down the road to rodeo, to live with unexpressed and unsolved problems, to deal with the result of not giving people psychological air. A discerning, emphatic listener can read what's happened down the fast and can show such acceptance, such understanding that other people feel safe to open up, lawyer after lawyer, liar, lawyer after lawyer, until they get to that soft inner core where the problem really lies. People want to be understood, and whatever investment of time it takes to do that will bring much greater returns of times as you work from an accurate understanding of the problems and issues and from the high emotional bank account that results when a person feels deeply understood.